Actually, I didn't see him. Today there was this guy. Oh, he is there. Oh.
He was earlier.
Earlier means?
Provincial.
Okay. Yes, that's right. So, but now? Okay. Okay. Then they must be there. Okay. If next two person says yes, then I believe. My eyes are not bad, you know. So, it is now like, okay. So, and Zapata Rinpoche's, according to Zapata Rinpoche's explanation, as I mentioned, there's 3 chapters. First 3 chapters, you know, those who have no bodhicitta mind, and then how to really, you know, rising of the bodhicitta mind. And then from here, 4th chapter, they call, I think, okay, carefulness chapter. From these 3 chapters, like that bodhicitta mind, which you arise or took vows, and that keep, you know, not go decreasing, but more keep balance. So these 3 chapters, coming 3 chapters are very important. And not only bodhicitta mind, any trainings we can really use these methods. You know, these are the very special methods. Oh, sorry. So therefore, these 3 chapters they call the where they arise at bodhicitta and then to maintain it, you know. And then in this, according to Gyatso Ngurje Tongme is one of the very Bodhisattva, Tibetan master who wrote of the 37 paths of the bodhicitta mind. And his commentary and his 3 chapters is more like aspiration chapters. And from here, more like application chapters, you know, like more really you are applying. So however, those are the doesn't much matter, but the way of the talking is doesn't much matter. But the thing is that these methods we need to apply. So therefore, generally in this book, they're speaking about 6 parameters. 6 parameters. So if you do not know 6 parameters, then the 6 parameter is the generation, what's called then ethic, diligent, ethic, the tolerance, ethic, okay, generosity, ethic, diligent, tolerance, or tolerance, diligent, samadhi, wisdom. These called 6 parameters. So, as I mentioned, most of this they are really kind of, you know, talk a lot about, you know, giving things, or be benefit, wish for benefit, etc. So therefore, this 3 chapter and last chapters are like belongs to the generation parameters, because in this book they didn't mention clearly generation parameters, but these are the masters saying. And from here is more ethic, you know, now this is called carefulness. And next one is mindfulness and awareness and etc. All these are the part of the keeping ethic, you know. So therefore, now here are they talking more ethic, and then after that it will come others. So the chapter name, the name of chapter is carefulness. What it means that when you are took something, you know, when you have like important things, you know, if you need to bring somewhere, you have to be very careful, you know. Like let's say if you bring little bomb, you know, if you drop this, or if you use little change of your balance, it will be destroy yourself or around you. And that kind of things, then we have to really follow the exactly what the book says, how you carry it, you know. People need to be very careful. Don't forget what you are holding inside. and we need to carefully bring somewhere and put carefully. So this is like more we call carefulness. We should not forget, even instant or like slightly, I should say. So therefore they call carefulness. So in this case, now like we receiving such vows and bodhicitta vows, and which really, if you are holding very well, and it brings yourself and innumerable sentient beings to the everlasting of the happiness. For instance, if you bring such kind of thousands of the people in the aeroplane somewhere, I think pilot has to be very careful, otherwise maybe included everyone goes, just disappeared in 1 minute. So we have to careful things. Careful means like always need to remember one after what we need, what you have to do, what the good, what the bad. So therefore here it says, such that we should be free from the attachment, hatred, ignorance, and with diligently means to joy of the doing virtues, and then we do meditation on the bodhicitta or training of mind, what they mentioned above and what we'll mention in the after other chapters, and those we need to meditate with like that. Mind such free from the attachment, hatred, ignorance, and with the diligently do meditate. And then that is like more you are kind of, how could you say that, accepting, accepting. Then what you need to rejecting is that the mind with emotions, negative emotions, we need to abandon or we need to protect that. So that is more like a rejection. So we have to remember these two things, what you need accepting and what we need to rejecting. So such the mind with negative emotions arising in our mind, we need protected that. We have to remember this is something not good for me and for you and for everyone. But today when the mind comes, the negative mind comes, we don't much think of that this is something very bad, but we more focusing on the object of that person or whatsoever. So the careful means that these two things you need to be careful. If you go to somewhere with that attributes and you cannot take things, you cannot lose things, and that we have to remember, and then you have to take very nicely, gently, and put somewhere very gently. That's more like accepting that we need to bring that. If someone has this carefulness, I think we can accomplish many things, even worldly things. If you are careless, there's always something wrong. Broken things, messed up things, lost things, and not on time, and many things happen if they are careless, when they are careless. So therefore, this carefulness is very important. So one of the Buddha's quotation says that, whatever existing of the virtues are, the root is the carefulness. That was Buddha's word from the King of Samadhi. Sutta, the King of Samadhi, says like that. Whatever existing of the core as virtue, and all the root is carefulness. So therefore, careful is very important. Okay? And then when they talk here, there is few subjects. Okay, maybe this main subject is now this. I think they call now applying or intellectual or join, etc. And this will be talking about Talking about the 6 parameters, the Jumba knows movement. So from here, now more they're talking about ethic, and then onwards the 6 this rest 5 parameters. And here now ethic has now careful, and then they call I think they call careful and awareness. They're talking about 2 things, careful and awareness. And first, careful has like, how you could say that, kind of shorter and then details. And shorter itself also has like shorter, detailed conclusion. So the first, what they say is that, I will read this. The child or children of the conqueror who thus have firmly grasping this bodhicitta should never turn aside from it, strive never to transgress its displans. So now, those who have the bodhicitta mind, and saying here that bodhisattva, you should keep this very stable, hold this very stably. Should never, kind of distort your mind and go beyond what you should do, what you shouldn't do. That is like very shortly the saying here, So they're talking about, when you keep these vows, that they have preparation, actual conclusion. Everywhere you should keep these vows very carefully, perfectly, stably. Oh, that's careful, careful. It is like they call this like little, how to say, the short explanations, and now more details. And then they're talking about what accepting is one thing. Training to the what supposed to accept or practice. And then they're talking about the careful of the precious human life, and careful with abandon of the negative emotion. There's 3 things. Then first one, supposed to, like accepting of the training, and there's something that you should never abandon. That there is a reason to not abandon. If you abandon, there's a lot of kind of downfall result. Because of that, you should advise to, kind of advise to us never should abandon. So like 3 kind of subjects. So first is that reason to not, there is a reason to not abandon of the bodhicitta vows. So why the reason is that actually for ordinary work, ordinary kind of job, maybe we apply many jobs, right? And at the same time, maybe you get few jobs, one after another. And then maybe you are, I think they call tired or something, you should do something for 1 week. If you don't like, okay, I don't like this job, and you can give up. It's not much losing. And you can try to find something else. And you can do something else. And that is not suitable for you. And you can do something else. You can do around a worldly job, you can do like that. But here is that here says, this is not such like that. Because this is something that supposed to be analyzed before you took vows. That is the one reason we should not change. Now we need to keep continuing. Other is that they're saying is that such great wisdom, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they already analyzed this. They analyzed what the really benefit of the sentient beings, what the best things to be benefit of sentient beings. They analyzed eons, and they found the bodhicitta is the best one. So therefore, this is already kind of best things. So there is no such kind of, you took some time and gave way and you took again. Should not do like these kind of things. So therefore, here says that there is a reason to not abandon. The most reason is that firstly we have to already analyze it, and secondly these are already kind of satisfied it, you know. If we ever have bodhicitta, this is the best one. So therefore there is no other better left now. So that's the reason also shouldn't be should not, you know, abandon. Oh, so therefore, I think here what it says. So anyway, that the worldly works, if you before don't analyze it and you apply something, and later on you change, that is okay. But this one is not that okay. This is the main topic here, okay? Whatever was begun without due heed, and all that was not properly conceived, although a promise and pledge were given, it is right to reconsider, shall I act or not? You can think afterwards. Yet, what the Buddhas and their heirs have scrutinized in their great wisdom, I myself have proved and scrutinized. Why should I now
procrastinate?
Sorry?
Procrastinate.
Procrastinate, right? What should I procrastinate? So that is the thing. So what the main basic thing is that we should not change. Go ahead. So I think that stable is very important actually. You know, even human beings, be stable is really important. If we are make friends, knowing each other, and keep, I think, try to compromise, you know, keep as long as possible is very good. And then particularly such this kind of teachings, then he was saying these things, so maybe this I think have some reasons. And then the next is that if we, I think, kind of change or avoid, then there's a lot of downfall, I think, kind of actions, downfall result, okay? So in this has also three topics. The rapiding downfall into the lower realms, and also decreasing of the action of the benefit of others, and it will take long time to be obtained enlightenment. These three things are quite good reason to not change, right? There's three things. The first one, saying that if we took the bodhicitta vows, saying that I will liberate of the all sentient beings, and then in front of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, you know, with your respect, with your if you were drunk, maybe no problem. If you had been like some kind of crazy and then you took bodhicitta vow and later on you said that I will not, maybe that is okay, exceptional, because you were crazy at that time, right? But you are normal mind, and you're saying that I will take vows in front of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10th generation. Then after some 10 little or small things, I will change something, I don't want this and that. This is something not good. I think it's, so therefore why is that you are cheating of the all sentient beings, not only one or two or three, but all sentient beings. I think that is, in human there's no law. Human law is maybe if you cheat one or two people, but not all sentient beings. Do you have human law like that? But karmic law is something like this. So we are cheating all sentient beings, so our punishment is not so small. Okay? So this is saying like that. That will be, we will be born in the downfall. So I will read this. For if I being myself with promise, but fail to carry out my words indeed, then every being will have been
Trade.
Betrayed. American, my English teacher is sleeping, right?
Yeah. Betrayed. Yeah, like you said.
Betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything? Okay. Really just one word, I think. Anyway, what destiny must life in store for me? Okay, welcome to watching the Jerusalem. Welcome to watching the Jerusalem. Means, I think, welcome to watching that means that you are cheating over all your guests. And before you invited all guests, you know, okay, and that is the things. And then, that is like, okay, that normal natural tongas, okay, this the downfall, rapid, you know, there's downfall in lower realm. This subject has actually three. That was the first one, you know, saying that it's not correct. And now they give some logic, you know, second is the logic, they're talking about logic, the reason, how, etc. Saying that in the worldly, if you invited someone, saying that tomorrow I will offer lunch for you. But when tomorrow comes, then 1 hour before you are calling to them, say, yeah, sorry, I was first sleeping, now I have nothing and we have changed. You know, I cannot offer today. And then again you give some dates. And then you ask again same things. If you do like this, then what will happen? You know, that is something not good, right? So you mind, firstly, you are saying that invited of the like some clothes or food and etc. And those are even very small things, you know, small food, clothes are things are very small materials. And even those things, if you are saying and not doing, and these are the not good, you know, result. In the Sutta teaching says, if you does this, that result is also Henry Ghost realm, bring to the bone in Henry Ghost realms, saying in the Sutta teachings. So now is not such kind of comparable of the just clothes or food. And also, they are talking about this giving is not such kind of wow. They didn't talk about these things in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. However, still, they have such kind of results, such kind of bringing to the downfalls. So today, we invited all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of them, saying that I will protect or I will take bodhicitta vow, I will guidance to the all sentient beings. You know, I will invite to the all sentient beings happiness of the temporary and ultimate. You are saying this in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Invite of all these things to everlasting happiness. All these are the uncomparable of this ordinary materials, food, clothes, etc. Even house and cars and etc. Okay? So therefore, even those small ones bring to the downfall of the lower realms, then such this, how you can say that it will not bad result. Well, this is how they are saying here, okay? So I will read this in English. If in the teaching it is said, it's the teaching of the Buddha called mindfulness of the Dharma, that Sutta of the mindfulness of Dharma, that those who in their thoughts intend to give a small and paltry thing, but then draw back, will take rebirth, is hungry spirits, hungry bodily life. How can I expect a happy destiny if from my heart I summon wandering beings to the highest bliss, but then deceiving and fail them? Okay, deceiving, fail them. So its logic is there, right? Clear? Okay. And then here is like a little bit kind of okay, then this is here is one kind of debating, someone saying something else. So there was one story. There was one story such that Shariputra was actually Bodhisattva. Shariputra was Bodhisattva, such he took Bodhisattva vows. And then one person, kind of that's asking to Shariputra saying that, okay, I need your right arm. I need your right arm. And then Shariputra, he gave. How he gave was first he cut it, and then his arm went to in the ground. And he took left hand and gave to him. And this man says, how you can give to me left hand? Why left hand? Because in India, left hand is very bad kind of hand, in India. Do you know why even? Maybe not, those who are in India, right? Okay, Indian, they consider this left hand, so this left hand is very bad, okay? So he gave that his right hand by left hand, but this man was actually more like he wanted to really, some demons try to destroy of his Bodhisattva vow. So when he gave by the left hand, and he says, I don't take it because he gave me left hand. So then Shariputra was really, he kind of lost his Bodhicitta mind, at that moment. But that his rebirth was not in the downfall hell realms, but his rebirth was in the ahats, in the Hinayana, ahats. So now here someone asking that previously saying that you will be born in the lower realms, then how could be Shariputra is not born in the lower realms, even he broke his Bodhisattva vows, but he became ahats. And there was another also similarity of this kind of stories, who were born in the Patika Buddhas or Shavaka Buddha states. So they asking, and then the answer is that those things actually Buddha can description. Not everyone can describe it. This like the deep karma and cause and effect is only Buddha can clearly tell. No one can tell. But generally, we can say what the downfall of the Bodhicitta vows, it will be bringing the lower realms for sure. However, there is specific karmas. Those the only Buddhas can make the description. No one else can do. So therefore, you are saying these are those things are only Buddha's object, not our object. So similarity of the one of the Buddha's cousin, and who has been all the time destroy of the, try to destroy, even try to kill Buddha, and he make all the time destroy something. But uncommon sutras, they are saying he was also one of the manifesting, to make support of the Buddha's activity become successful. So, in order to successful, there is also needed some kind of people who can destroy or something, and that's where they can also fix. So, uncommon sutras, they're talking about also that was like such kind of manifesting by some high realization beings. But in the common sutras, they are saying he was as soon as he died, he born in the hell realms. So anyway, all those things are such is the object of the only what they call is that Buddhas. So I will read that, okay? What was it that Mahoney does? So as for those who losing bodhicitta leads others nonetheless to liberation, karmic law is inconceivable and only understood by the omniscience. The omniscient means Buddhas. only Buddha can tell very clearly. So that was like someone kind of debating to the Shantideva, or like kind of intentionally, if say something like that, then we need to answer these things, okay? That was saying here. So I think we should stop here for 1 hour, and then we will see you again soon. Thank you. So long.